Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Thursday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. I got a great topic for you tonight. Like I said, I'm shifting my focus a little bit to more business based and a little bit about network marketing and the platforms and this and that. So a little bit of change, but I think you're gonna ultimately you're gonna get some value out of it, and you may be able to make some better educated decisions. How about that? Excuse me. As you're joining me live, let me know you're here. Would love to know who's here, who's not here. I don't know who joins, who doesn't. Most of there it is. There's the little guy. There's P Money. Peter Money. That's good. I'm glad you squeezed the day. You squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I love it. I love it. So, yesterday we talked about the three things that people say right before they want to join a network marketing platform, right? Today, I want to talk about, and I could talk about this forever. Well, not forever, but for a long time. But I want to talk about the two questions that people ask network marketers, just in general, who are even if you're affiliate marketer, you're social marketer, just whatever marketer you are, right? As long as it's a network marketing based platform, then they're going to ask you these two questions, and you can drop them in the comments if you would, see if you resonate with any of these or not. I'm going to give you my take on them, and I've been breaking down this kind of questions and objections, if you will, and kind of just breaking down the psychology a little bit more. So what is going on with this little guy right here? Anyway, I digress. But so I'm gonna give you my take on them and what I think is the best way to maybe handle them. So, two most common questions that they ask network marketers, but they don't ask any other profession. Ready for this? I'm gonna give you the questions first, and you can tell me if these are correct or if you've heard these or not. One. Ready for this? Well, how much do you make? that one hair, right? It's like that one piece of hair. That's funny. How much do you make? Right? And the other one, the other one is, well, I gotta check the ingredients. What are the ingredients in the products? Right? Now, yes, tag her. So let me share this with you. How much do you make? Or what are the ingredients? Now, let me ask you, I'm going to give you a couple of different professions, okay? You tell me, okay? Let's say, do you ever go ask an attorney when they want to hire you on board, even as a junior attorney, a regular attorney, or whatever? If they want to bring you on board, do you ever ask that attorney, how much do you make? I'm curious. Do you? What about the doctor that you go see, and you want to start practicing in his office, and you're going to rent an office from him, or you're going to work with him in that office? Do you ask him, how much do you make? Or what about that lady that is, or the guy that is a hairdresser, and they have a salon, and they have a chair for rent, and you go there and you rent that chair and you want to work there, right? Do you ask that person that owns the salon, well, how much do you make? Let's say you want to work in a mortgage company. Let's say you want to go become a sales associate, okay? And you go get a job, right? And let's say your director of sales, that's what they call them, director of sales, or the executive is interviewing you. And do you ask them, well, how much do you make? Let's say you go to a restaurant and you want to apply for a job in the restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant or the manager even comes out and is interviewing you, and you sit in there, and do you ever ask them, how much do you make? Okay. Let's say you want to become a gym, you want to become a trainer. Let's say you go to the gym and you talk to the owner, you say, hey, can I bring my clients here? And they say, yeah, sure, no problem. And do you ask the gym owner, how much do you make? You don't. You know why? Because that would be a really dumb question to ask those people. Because they'll probably throw you out the window. They'll be like, what? Get the hell out. But we ask the network marketers all the time. All the time. Now, I know what you're going to tell me. I'm not the owner. I know what you're going to tell me. I'm not the owner. Okay, fair enough. Are you the owner of the realtor or the salon or the gym, or right? Are you the owner? You're not the owner. You would ask your friend who works at that office, say, how much do you make? Or what do people make here? What do people make here? What's possible here? When you go for that job interview, they sit down and they give you a pay structure. What does that mean? That means you do these things, you get paid accordingly. You don't do those things, well, you're probably not going to have a job for too long. Forget about getting paid. I mean, it's the truth. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Is that not how it works? They say, you know what? Per haircut, this is how much you're going to get paid. Or they're going to say, you sell this car, this is how much you get paid. You sell this house, that's how much you get paid. This is how people are doing. This is our top salesperson. This is how much he made. We have our other people here. That's how much they made. All right, those are examples, right? But will they come to you and say, Sean Azimi made $10,369.49 in the last 2 weeks? That was his paycheck? What company says that? Isn't that illegal? To disclose somebody else's pay to someone? Hey Pamela, how are you? Welcome, welcome, good to see you. Right? Isn't that like not right to do? So first question they ask, always, how much do you make? But they never ask that from any other, I don't care if you're gonna become a janitor, okay? You don't go to the owner and say, well, you know what, how much does this guy make? Or do you ask him, how much do you make? No, right? So people ask you that question because, one, I really truly believe, again, it goes back to what we talked about last night, it's more of a posture question. Because they feel like they're going to catch you like this. How much do you make? Yeah, I talked about that last night though, but I'm going to bring that up again. Don't worry, I'm going to bring that up for sure. The pyramid, right? So how much do you make? Never ask anybody else that, but they allow themselves to ask network marketers because they're almost waiting for you to say, well, I'm not making anything, but Joe is making. They're waiting for you to say, oh, well, I don't know when it was, but Justin Prince, other mentor of mine, the man is 10-figure earner. I mean, there's only a few of them in the world that make 10 figures a year in direct sales. So I remember one time he said, it's better to tell the story of how you did it versus why you didn't. Let me repeat that. That's so powerful. He says, it's so much easier to tell the story of how you did it versus why you didn't. Let me explain to you what that means. How you did it. You know what? I worked hard. I prospected 10 people a day, 20 people a day, 50 people a day, 70 people a day, 100 people a day. I didn't go to sleep until I did this. I read my books. I did my personal development, all these things that make what they say success inevitable. I did all that. It's a great story to tell. Versus, oh, you know what, my car broke down and I didn't have a car, and my leg left, and my leg came back, and then the weather got cold, and then I couldn't do it for a while, like my stories, right? All these. It's so much easier to tell the story of how you did it versus why you didn't. So all I do now, I bring that to life, that statement. And I shift my focus on, you know what, I'm just building my story of how I did it. So when somebody asks me, how much do you make? Right? Well, I'm working on my story of how I did it. And I'm going to be truthful, straight up. Right? Some people are waiting for that. And I'm going to tell you this, okay? You may not believe me, but I never believed it in the beginning, but I believe it now 100%. That's why I'm sharing it with you. When somebody says, how much do you make? It's not the amount that you make. Because whatever you say, it's either going to say, oh, I knew it. He ain't making anything. Or, that's not even possible. You tell them I'm making $5,000 a month, they're going to be like, oh, well, that's great. Good for you. Like, it's not something that they're going to say, oh my God, I want to learn how you did that. It's never going to come like that. I'm telling you, it's not. People who ask you, how much do you make? Even if you tell them I'm driving a Lamborghini because of this, they're like, oh, well, good for you. Because they could never see themselves in that position, right? It's a whole different ballgame. So when they say that, it's almost, they're like waiting for you to just drop everything and say, well, I ain't making anything. You know what? I've been at it for so long. I am making. And they're going to say, yeah, see, the guy's been at it. I'm going to tell you right now, a couple of my friends are going to watch this. A couple of my really, 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 really good friends, that's what they talk, that's what they talk about me. You've been at it for so long, you haven't made, right? You haven't made it happen. So they're waiting for that. So if somebody says, how much are you making? They're just waiting for that. They're just, it doesn't matter how much you're making. It won't matter. I promise you, it won't matter. Even like I said, it won't matter. If you say $100, they'll be like, oh, you've been at it for this long and you only make $100. You say 5,000, you're like, oh, good for you. Right? I have another live on that, by the way. I'm not gonna mix the two. All right. The other question. So I think I killed that, right? Sometimes it's not about the money, why they join. It's yeah, yeah. Only a small percentage really join for the big money. Um, yeah, PK is right. You know, not everybody joins for the cash. People just want to be. I've learned that people want to be part of something that they normally wouldn't be, right? Like in their normal life, they're not part of that something. And when they join a network marketing company or a platform, they all of a sudden become part of something, right? And the love and the care they get, it's amazing. Because imagine you're in a conference with 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people that all in the same company. It's like a company party, right? Everybody's on the same page, everybody's hanging out together, everybody's, you know, and it's like 2, 3, 4 days. It's like, who wouldn't want to be a part of that, right? So some people want that. It's not about the cash, but then those people are not the ones that are gonna get that question, right? They're not gonna get the question, well, how much do you make? Why? Because they're not pushing for the business, right? So most likely they're not gonna get that question. Second one is I love this one. Well, I got to research the products. Oh my God. I got to research the product. Well, what's the, I don't even know any ingredients. What's the, with combination of this, it's got, that's going to blow up in your brain. It's like, what? What? PK, what? What's the ingredient? All right. I'm going to break it down for you. You never ask that question from anybody else. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. You ready for this? Okay. Let's say you go get a job at Walmart. Are you seriously going to tell me that you're going to stand? Exactly. B money. What? You're going to stand there and ask the guy, well, I got to check the ingredients and all the products in Walmart here. Because, what? All right. You go get a job at a hair salon. Well, you know what? I got to check all the products you use here on the customers before I get the job. You go get a job at a mortgage company. Well, I got to check all the products. So I got to make sure all the rates are exactly where they need to be before I get that job. What? You get a car, you get a job at a car lot. Well, I got to check all the products, all the cars, make sure every car is running great and myself and I got what the? You get a job at McDonald's. Yeah. You've got a job at McDonald's before, Burger King or a restaurant as growing up. Did you go to the restaurant owner and say, I got to check all the ingredients of every food, of everything on the menu before I get the job? I think that would turn you into psychiatric help. They'd be like, what the, what? That's like the dumbest thing somebody could say. Another dumb thing to ask. You go to an attorney, you get a job there. Do you tell the attorney, well, I got to make sure I got to go through all your cases and see what you've done and what you're all about and what everything in this office is all about before. It's like, what the, dude, get out. But you know what? People allow themselves to have them ask you, hey, this product that has 32 different clinical studies. It's got 7 international patents. "32 clinical." It's got a mix with HA matrix. There's 500,000 people that are talking about it. And I love when somebody says, you know, I gotta check the ingredients. What? What? You gotta check the ingredients. Why? You're gonna remake it? Sarcastic answer. But seriously, do you ever ask anything? Dude, you want to become a janitor. Do you ever ask the janitor, well, what kind of products do you use to clean the window? Do you ask that question? Do you really ask that question? No. You're like, dude, when do I start? How much does it pay for an hour? That's what you ask. You feel me? Triple helix. You feel me? Am I off? Those of you who are in the business and those of you who are actively building, those of you who have experience, I don't have that much experience. Those of you who have experience, am I off? Am I talking Swahili? Do I make sense? Seriously. Do you ever go ask anybody else, how much do you make? How much do you make? They, oh, like, I gotta research the products. I love that. You gotta research the products. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. Like I told you, I could talk about this for a long time. I'm gonna wrap it up like this. If you're gonna, you never asked anybody, right? I don't care what kind of job you get. Like, I've been in the mortgage industry for 20 years, okay? Finance industry. I've done 37 jobs, right? I've shared this. 37 jobs, 10 different industries, okay? Not just one industry, 10 industries, like 10 different, totally different industries, okay? 37 jobs. I've never asked the owner, how much do you make? That would be really dumb. I've never asked my director of sales, the person who interviewed me, how much do you make? What? That's like a stepbrothers moment when they go for an interview. If you've seen the movie, if you know, you know. He goes, I can solve this pan situation. That scene. It's like, what? You don't do that, right? So people ask you that question. Hey, head them up like that. Say, what do you do? You're this. Okay, great. When you got this job, did you go to the owner when you were interviewing? Did you ask them how much they make? I'm just curious. Or did they explain to you what's possible? Marie, what's going on? How are you? Hopefully you catch the replay because I'm about to wrap it up. Right? Do you ask them? Just ask a question. I'm not afraid to ask these questions anymore, and I think it's really has come down to I'm not connected to the results anymore. I'm not. I really don't mind if you say no. Like, I really don't mind. Honestly, truthfully, like, I really don't mind if somebody says no. It used to bother the heck out of me. You know what I mean? Because I'm a salesman. I'm like a closer, you know. I've always taught how to raise your closing percentage. You know, that's what kind of been my, experience. So when I don't have that here, it frustrates me. Well, I used to. But now I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So exactly. Be sincere about it. I'm not afraid to ask those questions because here's the reason why. If they're asking me those questions, they're allowing me to ask those questions. So I feel like it's okay. Somebody asks me what are the ingredients, I gotta check them out. I say, go ahead. What do you want me to tell you? Don't? Okay. If you find something really cool, let me know too. That's what I say. If you find something cool, let me know too. I'm not that ingredient of a guy. Like you wouldn't come to me and say, can you break down this product? I'd be like, yeah. Like I take the capsule off and I break it down like that. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm not that guy, right? Some people are. Margie, we refer you to Margie Aliprandi. She's been with the company for 30 years. She'll break down everything for you. I'm not that guy. So, people ask you that, don't be afraid to just have a heart to heart. Is that really important to you? Knowing the ingredients, is that really important to you? Is there something specific you are trying to avoid, or is there something specific that you really want to have? These questions are questions people don't ask. You know what I mean? So I hope you got some love, some inspiration, some value. Let these questions come. I actually like break. Oh, totally forgot to announce in the beginning. I know I digress. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, I am being coached by the one and only Ray Higdon on his personal page. What? Which means everyone can check out. This man is the man. I probably won't be able to sleep tonight. I'm so excited. I have so many things to ask. I don't even know where to start. But I am so excited. This guy is my hero, my man, my mentor. I love everything that this guy does and he preaches. So I am so excited to be on there tomorrow. That's Ray Higdon, Rayhigdon. Check him out on his page. And then tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. Let's do this, baby. I'm going to bring it. You know I will. So hopefully you guys got some love from this live. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedbacks below. I want to know if you've heard these two before, these two questions. How have you handled them before? Has it made a difference? Unless you're John Melton or you know these guys, yeah, it makes a difference. But then they don't get those questions. You see what I mean? That's a big difference. You got to get to a point. This is my thing. You got to get to a point where people don't ask you those questions. Oh, I have a notebook that I just got. Oh, it's over there. I'll show it to you tomorrow. But you got to get to a point where people don't ask you these dumb questions. That's my goal. I want to get to a point where people don't even think about asking these dumb questions from me. They ask me these dumb questions because I give them the room right now, right? So I'm working on that, and that's what I'm sharing with you. You should be working on that if that's your goal. Anyway, hopefully you guys get some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments below. Let this feed grow. I know some of you have asked me what's going on with my reels and my humor. I haven't come out with it. It's been, I haven't been regular with it for probably a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks now. But, there's just so much stuff behind the scenes and that I've calmed it down for a couple of weeks. But don't you worry. I'm coming. I ain't stopping, that's for sure. But just calmed it down for a couple of weeks. But I appreciate you guys checking on me and asking me what's going on. When am I doing a new skit? When am I doing this? When am I doing that? Listen to me. Tomorrow I am going to be singing for you because it's Friday. For sure, you're gonna get a nice little song out of me. I may do a real good one because I haven't done one for a little bit, so I may do a real good one. And so thank you for checking on me on the real. I really appreciate that. Actually, I did a live on that last week on appreciation, so I really appreciate that. Some of you checking on me. Hey, what's going on? Some of you are sending me text messages saying, "Man, this reel was so awesome. You nailed it." Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy my sense of humor. I definitely, if you get to know me, you realize that I definitely have a unique sense of humor. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'm putting it out more. Drop your thoughts, your comments below. You feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Tomorrow morning, don't forget Ray Higdon's page, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.